something here. Oh my goodness, listen to this. Vincent Luigi Benjavanga, affectionately known as Vinnie-Bag-A-Donuts, died peacefully at his home yesterday of gastroesophageal reflux disease. See? I knew it. He'd never stop with those donuts. Vinnie-Bag-A-Donuts, that's what we used to call him. We'd all hang out at the Canarsie subway line over the pass, and every time he'd bring a bag of donuts with him. I hope he didn't get one stuck in his windpipe. I mean, that'd be awful.
Is it too much to ask that they be happy?
And he was such a nice guy, too, and funny. He'd stand right under the overpass, make like he was Marlon Brando in Streetcar, and he'd rip off his shirt and he'd scream, "Stop!"
Frank! How can you make sounds like that at a time like this? How can you even read?
He timed it just right. He'd start screaming once the train came to, and he'd scream even louder than the train. And he could hold the forever.
Frank.
What? It was just a thing we had, you know? Maybe I should send something. Would donuts be a bad taste?
Maybe I should call Maria.
You just called her.
Yeah, but I didn't explain everything to her. I told her I'd explain everything to her after she got here, but maybe I should call and explain everything to her before she gets here. This way, after she gets here, I will have already explained it to her and she'll know what I'm talking about.
I don't even know what you're talking about. And neither do you. You need to get more information.
I know. I'll call Father Patella. Boy, he can keep a secret. Better yet, I'll go see Father Patella because something like this, it's better discussed in person. Am I right? Fine! I'll go by myself!
Go where?
To see Father Patella.
Leave Father Patella alone. You told me yourself he has 7 baptisms and a first communion this week.
I'll bring Maria with me. And I'll let her do all the talking.
What's Maria gonna say?
Oh, don't worry about it. She'll know what to say. She's good that way. She's calm. And when you're calm, you're good with the words. So forget about it. You don't have to go.
If you want me to go with you to see Father Patella, I'll go.
Frank, make up your mind. First you say you won't go, then you say you will.
I never said I won't go. All I said is he's got 7 baptisms and a first communion this week. And you know what? It takes a lot of time to prepare for that. You know, with the families and all. People are funny when it comes to their kids. You remember?
Oh, our kids had a beautiful first communion. They lit the candles perfectly, just like I told them to. I was so proud of them. How come they stopped listening?
They didn't stop listening. They're just not little kids anymore.
That was the most spiritual day of my life.
Viola. Viola.
Maria.
Oh, honey. Oh. I came as fast as I could and you sounded so upset on the phone. Now, what's going
Her
on?
head's about to explode.
Maria, I told you to finish hanging your velvet Elvis painting first.
I finished hanging it. It's hanging right over my bed. That's where I hung it. Frank didn't want me to.
Frank, you care where Maria hangs her Elvis painting?
Not your Frank, my Frank.
I'm so upset. I'm not thinking straight. What? You didn't want to hang it in the living room?
No. I hung it over the bed, right over my side of the bed. This way now, Frank wants to sleep away on the other side of the bed. Frank doesn't hang it on the bed. Fine. I'll have my Elvis. It'll remind Frank of how fast he's losing his. Moldy like a duck.
Stella!
What is he doing? Vinnie-Bag-A-Donuts. Forget about it. Don't ask. It's a thing. Frank, stop reading the obituaries. Do your crossword puzzle.
So, what's that?
All right. So, I was dusting and the phone rang. By the way, that heart-shaped candy dish that you gave me broke.
Oh, Viola, that was a wedding gift for you and Frank. That's why I thought it was such a great wedding gift. Anyway,
All right. So, the phone rings, and it's Mrs. Angeli, the girl's mother. And, there was this tone. So I knew it was something. Besides, she never calls. She's too cheap to pay for a phone call from Jersey. So, anyway, she starts talking about the weather and, her husband's bocce tournament and his eczema, all things I don't particularly care about. So I'm thinking to myself, it's to the point already. I've always been very intuitive.
oh, you have.
Yeah, it's a gift.
It's a gift.
Yeah, but a gift is no good unless you use it. So I says, Mrs. Angeli, I know how expensive a call from Jersey is for you, and I'm sensing that you got something you need to tell me. And then, silence. So I says, Mrs. Angeli, are you there? And I'm thinking to myself, God forbid she's calling to tell me that she's dying, and it's happening right then and there on the phone.
Viola.
Well, I said God forbid. Anyway, so that's when she tells me.
Tells you what?
I swear, Maria, I think that there's a curse on this family ever since Frank brought that Ouija board home for the boys when they were little for Christmas. Frank, I told you to take that Ouija board into the backyard, break it over your knee, throw it in the trash can, and set the whole thing on fire.
I couldn't have done that. A backyard is highly flammable. Don't you know that?
Not the kind of plastic grass that we have. That would have just stunk. And besides, it's Brooklyn. Who cares? It's supposed to stink.
Hey, that's my Brooklyn you're talking about.
You know, Frank, there's a legend about a munchkin from the Wizard of Oz who walked off into that forest and hung himself because he was lovesick. And I'll bet you anything it's because they were all playing with a Ouija board. Those munchkins were bored and they had nothing to do sitting around all day because they had small parts. So they played with the Ouija board and their little friend walked off into that forest and did what he did to himself.
All the evil spirits coming out of the Ouija board.
Don't make light of people, Frank. Evil, nothing to make light of.
Okay, so evil spirits got into this house because of the Ouija board I gave the boys. That's what you're saying, right?
Get back to the story. What did she tell you?
Vincent and Gloria have different temperamental qualities. That's what she called it, right, Frank?
Characteristics.
Temperamental qualities.
Sorry, what does that mean?
Apparently, they don't meet each other's needs anymore. And now Gloria is back home.
After 3 years, all of a sudden, they don't meet each other's needs, and you don't think it's over, do you?
Oh, Maria, you know me. I don't give up. I don't put my nose where it don't belong, but I don't give up either.
See, a 7-letter word from narrow dissolution.
You know what I think? I think that girl isn't as Catholic as we were made to believe. And my Vincent, he put his foot down.
By the way, where is Vincent?
At Polio's working.
They have the best donuts.
He'll be here soon.
Yeah, she called him too.
And what are you going to say to him?
Depends on what he has to say to me.
You're his father. He's your son.
I know who he is.
You need to talk some sense into him before this thing goes any further.
Yeah, like I'd be able to get a word in edgewise with the two of you here. Come on.
And how's Anthony?
Oh, Anthony's back in school.
Oh, he is such a smart kid. I wish my Joseph would go back to school. I mean, all he does is sit in his room for hours tutoring. I mean, how long he gets me? So, go on.
Anyway, so after I hung up with him, I called Gloria.
Oh, you called her too?
She's been on the phone all morning.
How am I going to know what's really going on unless I have the both of them in the same room at the same time? Anyway, now, get this. Gloria wants to be a great big time movie star.
She does?
All of a sudden, Gloria wants to be a great big time movie star. A regular Elizabeth Taylor, this one.
Maria, how's Elvis doing? And you'll say, great. How's Vinny? And I'll say, couldn't be better. And then we'll look at each other and say they're both dead. And we'll crack up.
Frank, you really need to have more respect for the dead. Besides, to me, Elvis is very much alive.
Yeah, to you and every other middle-aged Italian woman in America. He's 99 years old now, singing karaoke at every Italian restaurant in America.
Well, you know, Frank, when you can sing Can't Help Falling in Love with You the way Elvis did, I'll hang your picture over my bed.
I don't think your Frank wants my picture hanging up over your bed.
Oh, that's probably Vincent now. Vincent, what happened?
What? I left early because you said it was an emergency.
That's not what I mean. Say hello to Aunt Maria.
Hi, Aunt Maria.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Hi, Aunt Maria.
Anthony, I hear you're back in school.
Yeah, just enrolled. That's what they call community college, but I think I gotta start somewhere, you know? See, I wanna be that thing where you help people keep their toes on when it gets cold. I saw a documentary about that.
Vincent, Mrs. Angeli called me this morning. What's this temperamental quality?
If you're referring to me and Gloria, it just didn't work out, that's all.
Oh, it didn't work out, that's all. You mean you didn't try to make it work out? And is this true what Mrs. Angeli's telling me? Gloria's back home now?
Yeah, for 6 months now.
6 months?
At first, it was just an experiment.
You don't experiment with the sanctity of marriage.
We wanted to see if our feelings would change.
Vincent, marriage is not based on feelings.
What is it based on?
Madonna me, Vincent, was I the only one listening when you took your vows? Marriage is based on a commitment and a promise till death us do part.
Right, and it was killing us. It's like we were dying on the inside, so we thought.
And when were you going to tell me this?
Well, I tried to tell you. It never seemed like the right time. Now you know, we're getting a divorce.
That's it. A 7-letter word for marital dissolution. Divorce.
Frank, you, the both of you, we do not say the D word in this house.
See, this is what I didn't want to happen.
Viola, honey, sit down.
Vincent, you know that this is breaking my heart. Don't you? Don't you? Don't you? Oh, DeAngelo, you did not give her enough attention, and now she wants to be a great big time movie star. I'm begging you, don't throw this thing away, Vincent. And we're gonna face anyone. And your father, he's gonna have to resign from the Italian American Club, and he's the president.
I'm the treasurer.
You run the meetings.
I count the dues.
Dues you need to have a club. Meetings not so much.
Okay. Then I'm the president. I'll call Dino Muscatelli and tell him he's been overthrown by you.
Vincent, you know what's gonna happen? I'll tell you. She's gonna fall flat on her great big time movie star face, and then she's gonna come running back to you.
She's not going to come running back, Ma. And anyway, I got tired of driving all over to those auditions, paying all that money for those glossy face pictures. There's one looking this way, and one looking that way, and one with black hair, and one with this freaky purple hair. And all she did so far is this one little commercial. She's standing on the sidewalk, and this car drives by. She waves. The car went by so fast, I couldn't even see her. Oh, Vinny, did you see me? Did I look good, Vinny? Did I do good? Did my hair look nice, Vinny? So finally I said, look, all right, you want to be a movie star? Go ahead.
You told her, go ahead.
You think that was a good thing to say, Vincent?
And Maria, once she puts her mind to something, there's no stopping it. She even changed her name to go along with the face pictures.
She gave up the family name. Are you listening to this, Frank? To what?
Gloria Lollobrigida.
Gloria Lollobrigida.
She says people will think she's related to that real movie star she calls the first lady of the motion picture industry.
You know, but don't you need a judge to change your name?
That's what I told her, so now we're waiting on a lawyer.
Make sure you tell them about the name thing, but it's illegal.
She's gonna have to change a lot more than her name to look like Gina Lollobrigida.
Well, now she can finish paying off the reception herself.
After 3 years, you're still paying off the reception?
Yeah, well, you know, that gold-plated champagne fountain and those gold foil cupcake liners she had to have. And you remember those gold chandeliers with those fancy crystal things hanging down from them?
Yeah, oh, they were beautiful.
Well, they didn't come with the place.
Oh, they did?
The Italian American Club don't have no chandeliers.
Put them in special, but she had to have them too.
Frank, you told me you paid for everything.
I did.
You did. You paid for one chandelier.
Okay, and you still owe me back on that one chandelier. Remember I told you I'm counting on you to sell a lot of pizza.
You don't sell pizza on commission, Pop.
Just kidding. I was happy to give you that.
Where are they now, those chandeliers?
They're in storage.
Fancy. I hope you don't think I'm being too forward, but I would love to have one of those chandeliers. It goes so great with my Elvis painting. And only this I would hang over Frank's side of the bed. That way it falls and goes on its head.
Okay. Make me an offer.
Make you an
Yeah,
offer?
we'll take the one that I paid for and you make me an offer.
Well, since Gloria is going to finish paying off the reception herself, you'd have to pay her, I guess. But how about we do this? How about you just take one, and we're going to let her pay for it anyway, and we're not going to say nothing.
Oh, you are such a doll.
You're such a dog.
Viola, I'm so happy I came to you. Wait to see Frank's face. He looks up and sees that chandelier.
Thank God I don't have to pay for no more manicures, or tannings, or any of those hair weave things no more either.
Ugh.
Vincent, can't you get an annulment? This way I can tell everybody that the marriage wasn't real in the first place.
Well, you can't get an annulment after 3 years.
Gloria. What am I gonna do? And you.
Well, me?
Yeah, you. How's Angela?
We broke up.
You too?
Yeah, the engagement's off.
Why?
She's going with the maid.
Maine? What, she hunts?
Fishes?
She wants to open up a flower shop.
A flower shop? And you let her go?
Hey, I talked it over with Vinny, and I figured what he's going through with Gloria and all, it's only going to get worse. So I told her, go ahead, too.
You told her go ahead? You told her go ahead too? Oh, this is all your fault, Vincent.
My fault? I didn't make him do nothing.
Yeah, he didn't make you do anything.
Yes, you did. Because he wouldn't know nothing about go ahead if he hadn't heard it first from you.
I didn't want to waste my time is all. Besides, I got my eye on another girl. Her brother owns a jewelry store. I'm going to get her a ring 10 times the size of Angela's.
You know, I'll bet she thinks the flowers stay fresh longer in Maine because it's colder there.
It feels like it cold. She's always turning the thermostat down. We're hot-blooded Italians, right, Vinny?
Right.
Yeah, but she's Italian too.
I know, it doesn't make much sense. Maybe she's adopted. And you know she can't pronounce anything fancy on an Italian menu.
Like at my restaurant.
Vincent, do you make those garlic knots?
Yeah.
Those are the best garlic knots I've ever tasted. You work at a very upscale Italian restaurant.
Anne-Marie, it's not upscale. It's just pizza and garlic knots.
It was the most popular pizza place in Brooklyn with the tourists.
Tourists don't come to Brooklyn, you idiot.
Oh yeah? One came in the other day from Minnesota. Michigan. One of the ends. What do you think? It's too cold.
You don't make pizza outdoors, you make them indoors in an oven.
You don't think I know you make pizza indoors?
Hey, here's a thought. Why don't you and Angela go to Maine? The two of you can open up a flower shop together. Pizza and garlic knots that look like flowers. And flowers that look like garlic knots. As luck would have it, that's the end your friend is from, and he'll tell his friend, and he'll make a fortune.
I'm just telling you what he said is all. Anyway, he came to us is the point.
Yeah, he just had to use the John. Besides, going from one of the M's to Brooklyn is a long time to hold it in.
You're disgusting.
You're disgusting.
Anthony, do her parents know how liberal they are in Maine? And those politicians are very corrupt. They believe in birth control.
I bet you can get an annulment after 3 years in Maine.
And you know, I heard they call people from Maine maniacs.
And this is where she wants to go to live with maniacs?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. It ain't just the flowers she likes.
What else?
Cemeteries.
Cemeteries.
Yeah, she likes to go to cemeteries and check out all the flower arrangements, even the big wreaths.
But isn't that illegal too? I mean, could she be arrested for trespassing or something?
Does she go at night?
Nope.
Does she take the flowers?
No.
Then she's okay. Well, unless.
Unless what?
Well, does she touch the flowers?
She likes to rearrange them sometimes. And sometimes she'll bring fertilizer in a watering can.
Now, that she could get in trouble for, because the flowers ain't hers.
I know, that's what I told her. I said, would you like it if someone messed around with the flowers on your grave?
That was a smart thing to say, Anthony.
You know, you tell them a grave is like somebody's apartment. A very small apartment, but an apartment nonetheless. And if that's trespassing. And if she keeps going back, well, then that's also stalking.
Frank, so you do know a lot about legal stuff. So, am I right about Gloria and the name thing?
You definitely need a judge for that.
Yeah. You see, Vincent, that's what I thought.
So I always waited in the car for her, right? And then this woman walks up to Angela as she's watering the flowers. She was pissed. Next thing I knew, Angela jumps, loses her balance, the watering can flies out of her hand, and waters the woman. So Angela starts jumping back, and the lady was all getting up in her face like she was gonna kill her. And I'm thinking, oh my God, my girlfriend's gonna get killed in the cemetery, and I'm just sitting in this car watching.
And the first one they always suspect is the boyfriend.
Did she get out of the car?
No, because then she ducks and runs around the woman, and then comes running towards me, leaving the woman to stand dead in her tracks.
Yeah, it's the cemetery.
Yeah, she's always trampling over the flowers. She nearly knocked over this one statue thing. And then all of a sudden she's banging on my car window, and so I let her in the car and I asked her, what was that about?
Well, what'd she say?
She said the woman called her a hussy.
Hussy?
Yeah, the woman was like, why, you little hussy, you're that other woman, aren't you? And then Angela was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even know your husband. And the lady says, that's not my husband, that's my father. And you do too know what I'm talking about. My mother hired a PI and he caught you here with him one night, and my father dropped dead right on the spot, with a lot less on than he has on in there. You should get in the electric chair for what you did to us.
What?
Whoa.
That's what I said. Well, not in so many words.
What did Angela say that?
She said, since when is it a crime to make your father's flowers look nice? That's what really got to the woman.
I'm sure she felt bad for the lady anyway.
She felt bad for the flowers she trampled over.
She said that?
Yeah, she said she wanted to soak her around for a bit, and then come back and fix them while the lady was gone.
Well, did you?
I ain't going to jail over some lady's dead father and some trampled over flowers.
You know what, Anthony? Maybe it's best that she moved to Maine, because if something does happen, you better get in trouble there, because you could be considered an accessory.
Plus, a grave digger could hit her over the head, just smash her with a shovel. I mean, you think if some woman in the graveyard that has no banners, you think a grave digger does? That's why they like to work at night. They know they can get away with things. You know, a cemetery is the perfect place for somebody to get killed. It's a frightening world we're living in these days.
No. What's frightening is if they put the wrong body in the ground because it's too dark and they can't see what they're doing. It's like if they put Carmine, the mailman, in the ground, but it's really supposed to be Salvatore, the guy down the street, and Carmine's supposed to go somewhere else.
Wait, Salvatore with the red Mustang?
No, the other Salvatore.
Salvatore with a funny little girlfriend?
No, the other Salvatore with the pretty girlfriend. It's like 100 Salvatores in this neighborhood.
Oh, that's Salvatore. Died? Huh? Did you read his obituary?
I'm just saying, what if?
You shouldn't speak that way about the living. It's bad luck. As a matter of fact, you shouldn't speak that way about the dead either. You know, saying someone could get mixed up with somebody else for all eternity.
Wait. I see what you're saying. If Salvatore's girlfriend's out there crying over Carmine, thinking it's Salvatore, what's Salvatore's girlfriend's name?
Stella.
Don't even think about it, Frank.
and then Carmine's wife thinks she's crying over Carmine, but it's really Salvatore.
Right, and Salvatore wants to be buried next to his wife, but she ends up somewhere else, and then he ends up next to Carmine's wife.
And you know, maybe it wasn't that woman's father after all. Maybe it was somebody else's father.
Oh, this sounds almost as morbid as your mother saying that Mrs. Angeli died.
Mrs. Angeli died.
I never said that.
No, she just thought she died because she got all silent on the phone this morning.
She always gets silent. She has these seizures that make her just stare at you for like 2 minutes. She just snaps out. She don't even know what happened. you anything? A glass of water, perhaps? And she looked at me and said, why? Do I look thirsty? So you see, Ma, I thought she might have died too, but standing up.
Can you do that?
No, then you fall back down, you idiot, like that woman's father. Don't you even listen to yourself? Anyhow, she had what you call the less popular seizure.
Common, you idiot. Jesus ain't popular or less popular.
Right, okay, because you go to community college now, so you know everything, right?
All right, stop. Enough with all this crazy talk. Although, Vincent, I am very happy that you didn't get stabbed with the butcher knife.
Oh, well, I think I started it all with Great Vivid.
I'm not upset with you, Maria, but frankly, I don't care how crazy Angela is.
So?
No. I always found her to be a very presentable young girl, and she is still his fiancée.
Was.
Anthony, you did not give her enough flowers, and a woman can never get too many flowers, even if she has allergies.
Apparently, even if there's all kinds of cemetery bugs crawling around in there like maggots.
I said enough already.
I'm just saying it's pretty gross what Angela does, because she can't parasite and lose her face or something.
I'm gonna tell Gloria too on account of her face pictures.
Frank, you give Viola flowers?
Oh, I tried to. She just doesn't like the colors.
That's not true.
Just like my friend, always making excuses. You know, once a year I get a rose from the gas station. You know, the kind they sell right next to the pump for $2.99.
These sounds almost as cheap as Mrs. Angeli.
Who wants a rose that smells like gasoline?
You know, Anthony, you can send Angela flowers today. Where is she, Jersey or Maine? Because FTD will go anywhere. I'll call her for you. Here, Frank, give me the phone.
Haven't you been on the phone enough already today?
She's in Jersey, Mom. But I ain't sending her no flowers. She wants nothing from me no more anyway. She even gave me the ring back.
And you took it?
Yeah, I took it.
I'm gonna have it melted down into an Italian war necklace.
Cool.
So you didn't give Angela enough flowers. And you didn't give Gloria enough attention. The both of you are desecrating everything that this family stands for.
We're doing what?
She says we're disintegrating the family.
Desecrating.
Well, what's that mean, Pop?
It means you're ruining it. You know, kind of like the way Angela did to those people's flowers when she trampled all over them.
Or like the politicians did to me.
I like people to glue their toes when it gets cold.
Oh, like Gloria does to her hair when she makes it freaky purple.
Now you're getting the hang of it,
Oh,
boys.
like you did to this family, Frank, when you brought that Ouija board home for the boys.
Oh, I love that thing. Whatever happened to it?
It better not be in this house, Frank. Right? Is it in the attic?
I don't know. Should I go look? And if I find it, you want me to set the whole house on fire? Whoa!
You know, Vinny, if you asked the man in your Ouija board the right questions, you wouldn't have ended up with Gloria having to pay for all those face pictures.
Yeah, and if you would ask the Ouija board the right questions, you wouldn't have ended up with Angela, and you wouldn't be hanging out in cemeteries with her.
This is the worst day of my
Oh, Viola. Mama wouldn't have.
No, Mama wanted nothing more than for us to have a family of our own. But what I get? I got two stupid girls and a boyfriend and a husband who want to throw it all away. I promised Mama, her that I would do everything to keep this family together.
Oh, and you did.
Oh, God. After that accident, I promised her. And why? How did such a stupid thing have to happen to Father?
Oh, and he finally opens up the butcher shop he wanted all his life. And
Why?
then,
Why did he go back to rearrange that walk-in freezer that night?
and the next morning, they find him locked in there with his eyes and mouth wide open and icicles hanging down from his bushy eyebrows. And all because of hypothermia.
That's what I'm trying to say. I want to be a hypothermist.
Bring it to you, Anthony. That's like not a real thing.
It is too, you moron. I told you. I saw it on TV.
So what you're telling me is that if I don't want to lose my toes, I gotta go to community college, right? Maybe you should teach that to Angela before she goes to Maine.
Right, before you and her go together.
You know what? Come to think of it, I don't think you need college. You just keep watching TV.
Anthony, I think it's very nice of you to honor your grandfather that way. You know, I'm very proud of you.
Hey, man. Can I ask the man of your Ouija board?
And I'm proud of you too, Vincent. On account of your garlic knots.
Thanks, Pop.
Did Grandpa really lose his toes in the freezer?
Oh, I don't think that's
Hey,
appropriate right now.
I'm just saying, it might help me in school later. You know, if my teacher knew about it, it might impress him. Even give me extra points.
Viola, maybe you should eat something.
Oh, no. I can't. You go. I got soup in the cabinet. Italian with...
Oh, I don't know.
Getting soup. Hello, Gloria. Thank you for coming. Come on in.
Gloria, what are you doing here?
I invited her.
Ma, I told you it's over.
Well, I would like to hear from Gloria, and we're going to sit down and have a nice little chat, whether you like it or not.
Nope, I'm leaving. Come on, Anthony.
Nobody's going anywhere. Let me tell you something. You walk out this door now, and I will never make you one of those dishes that Angela can't pronounce on an Italian menu. Capiche?
Capiche.
Va bene. Gloria, won't you have something? Oh, look what a nice manicure. Vincent told us you were accessorizing now. And so tea and the hair, is that what they call the weaves?
Yes, they're both hair weaves, Mrs. Mangione.
Oh, why? Because you don't like the hair that I gave you.
I like it just fine. I just don't see anything wrong with wearing them. Besides, all famous actresses wear them, such as who? Angelina Jolie.
I don't know if you remember me from the wedding. I'm Vincent's Aunt Maria. Anyway, it might interest you to know that Angelina Jolie has an eating disorder.
She does? She sticks her fingers down her throat?
Oh, no, not that kind. The other one begins with an A.
Oh, that's why her arms look like toothpicks.
But to her, they look like tree trunks.
That's okay, I'll just look at everything else.
Frankly.
Oh, Gloria, your mother called me this morning, and it was so nice of her. And I want you to tell her that I want to reimburse her for the phone call, because I know how expensive a phone call is from Jersey. So anyway, she told me about some temperamental qualities, and I don't know what that is. Would you tell me?
You just don't meet each other's needs anymore. I want a career. And Vinny just wants to make garlic knots.
Just let me tell you something, Gloria. You know, those garlic knots that Vincent makes are the best I have ever tasted.
You know, Gloria, how hard it is to break into show business? Because you know how many girls had to audition for the Gone with the Wind?
Oh, yeah. You know, in that same article about the girl with the kidney, well, they were saying how they give the men all the good parts. The women get leftovers.
And sometimes the men get the women's spots, but then they turn them into men's spots, like Dustin Hoffman and Tootsie.
That was a man's part, you idiot. That was a man pretending to be a woman.
And this is the show business you're talking about? Where men are pretending to be women?
That's nothing new there, Viola. You know, Milton Berle put on a dress on the golden age of television.
He did not.
Yes, he did, Viola. I mean, but I don't think it counts because he smoked a cigar at the same time.
Okay. How about this one, Charlie Chaplin?
Oh, really?
Yep, and that was 40 years before Uncle Dusty. That proves my point even more.
You see, Gloria, this is what I'm saying. It's worse than I thought, because show business is very corrupt.
Mrs. Mangione, I have no intention of letting show business corrupt me.
All right. Well, how are you going to afford everything? Because, you know, Vincent tells me that these face pictures are very expensive.
They're called headshots. And I know show business is expensive, but I'm determined to make it no matter what. I didn't just wake up one day and decided I want to be an actress. I felt this way ever since I was a little girl when I played Bambi in the 3rd grade play.
Well, that's what we're saying, Gloria. They made you be a little animal out in the woods. The men, the boys, didn't have to be little animals. The boys got all the good parts.
I went to an all-girls Catholic school.
So you got interested in show business at an all-girls Catholic school. Does your mother know that? Because I had to pull you out of that school immediately.
It was a good
No good school sends a girl down the path of corruption. And let me ask you this. If you wanted to be an actress since the 3rd grade, how come you waited until now?
because I was lacking in self-confidence.
And the weeds gives you that.
As a matter of fact, they do. But I also took a course on empowerment and self-actualization.
What's that?
It's all about seeing myself for the strong, powerful woman I am and allowing myself to fulfill my dreams.
Did you know about this, Vincent?
No, she told me she was going to beauty school.
You did know about it, Vincent. And I also went to beauty school. And then I realized, what's the point in looking beautiful if I'm not going to do anything with it? So I put the two together, and now I'm going into show business.
You want to know what made women feel powerful in my day? What? Raising a family and having children who grow up to be law-abiding citizens who contribute to society, and having a husband who's a leader in the community with something important to say.
Viola.
Not now, Frank, I'm talking. That's how women felt empowered in my day.
But it's important.
No, now I'm talking. No respectable young girl would have ever thought about changing her name. I gotta tell you, I was shocked when I heard about that one.
Yeah, and by the way, I was right. What you're doing is illegal.
It's not official yet. Right now it's what you call stage.
Well, what's wrong with Gloria Mangione? Everyone at the wedding said it rolled right off their tongues.
Yes. A Mangione means someone who eats a lot. And that's not what I want to be known for in show business.
Well, I guess you're telling me that you want an eating disorder.
I'm not going to have an eating disorder.
Well, I guess Angelina Jolie didn't just wake up one morning either and say, I'm going to go into show business, but she also didn't just wake up one morning and say, I want to have an eating disorder, but she does.
We don't know that for sure.
Oh, no, it's true. I read about it in 2 different magazines.
You see that, Gloria? 2 different magazines.
Gloria, I'm just curious. Have you ever eaten fried Vincent's garlic nuts?
Of course I have. But now I stay away from carbohydrates.
Oh, and that's how it all starts. That's when girls have an eating disorder. They stay away from carbohydrates. I am going to show you that article. You know, that's how Angelina got started. You know, Gloria, I'm sorry, but I don't think she's a very good role model for girls like you.
Oh, Maria, I couldn't have said it better myself.
But you know who is a good role model?
Oh,
Lollobrigida.
I agree. That's why I'm changing my name to hers.
Oh, but not for the reasons you think. She is a good role model because she did not change her name. She was born with it.
But that was her maiden name.
Let me ask you something, Gloria. Do you think Gina Lollobrigida stays away from carbohydrates? You can't stay away from carbohydrates forever. You're Italian, for goodness sakes.
The first time I saw Gina Lollobrigida was in 1985 in a movie called The Most Beautiful Woman in the World. And let me tell you, she didn't get no argument from me on that one. No.
Frank.
Those arms I could look at forever.
Mrs. Mangione, I'm sure this comes as a big surprise to you, and I appreciate your concern and hospitality. But I have to tell you, I'm feeling a little uncomfortable right now. When you called and said it was an emergency, I thought Mr. Mangione was sick or something.
Oh, no, I'm fine, but thanks for asking.
In that case, there's nothing more I can say.
Oh, wait, just like that?
Plus, I have to get ready for an audition tomorrow. Goodbye, Mr. Mangione.
No, wait, we're right in the middle of our little chat.
I'm sorry, but there's nothing more I can say. Goodbye, Mr. Mangione. Nice to see you again, Miss Anne. Anthony.
Vincent, go after her.
You don't get it. It's over.
It's not over, because if it were really over, she wouldn't have come over here. She'd have just told me to call 911 for your father. So go after her and give her the attention that she wants. Buy her some hair weaves. Tell her she did weave good in the commercial. What's a commercial now and then? It won't hurt anything.
She has enough hair weaves to open a store. And she don't want a little commercial every now and then. She's talking about moving to California.
California? Why did you have to say go ahead?
Ma, weren't you listening? She's had this going on in her head since she was Bambi.
You know, personally, I wasn't impressed with the hair weaves. And the tan, a few more years of that, and leather.
All right, boys. It's been a very eventful and informative afternoon, but your mother's a little tired, so maybe we'll talk later. Huh? You know, maybe tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay, Mom.
Bye, Aunt Maria. Ma.
I told you that girl wasn't as Catholic as we were led to believe, Maria. What am I gonna do?
Let's see what happens. So, you know, I think we took a lot of sense into her, and she's gonna have to think about it long and hard.
Which part? The carbohydrates or the men and women's clothes part?
I'm just afraid that she's gonna do something rash, like hop on a plane and she'll be 3,000 miles away and her mother won't even know about it, but she'll do it right in the middle of one of her seizures.
She's not gonna get on a plane. I mean, she has an audition tomorrow. Am I supposed to audition this in California? No, which I doubt. Honey, you rest now. I'll come back tomorrow and we'll talk some more. Frank.
Give me the phone.
Now who you calling?
Just give me the phone. Hello, Father Patella?
Oh,
Good. Gloria Mangione. Me? Well, Father, Frank and I got some very distressing news today, and I was wondering if we could schedule a meeting with you tomorrow here at our house, because something like this is just very disgusting person. And besides, Frank would prefer it that way.
I never said that.
You agreed when I explained it would be better.
I wasn't even paying attention.
Oh, is it concerning, right? Oh, yes, it's concerning. It's very concerning to Frank. As a matter of fact, it's a crisis. And I don't mind telling you, Father, that my heart was broken.
How did I get roped into this one?
Around 3 before this? Okay, I'll check with Frank. Come on. Frank, Father Patella wants to know if we can meet tomorrow before Mass around 3 o'clock. Frank says that would be perfect. Thank you so much, Father. Oh, and I want you to know that the reason that Frank hasn't been to Mass for the past 3 weeks is on account of he's been to the doctor. Here. Okay. See you then. Bye now.
Why'd you have to bring up the fact that I missed Mass for the past 3 weeks?
Because you have it, it's very embarrassing to me.
What about this doctor or whatever?
I had to tell him something.
Now who?
Hello, Gloria. Listen, honey, I feel terrible that I made you uncomfortable earlier today. So I was wondering if you wouldn't mind coming over and having another little chat tomorrow. Yeah. No, I will not try to change your mind. I know you got this audition tomorrow. So... Oh, it's not canceled? Well, you see, Gloria, this is what I'm trying to tell you. The show business, these people are ruthless. Gloria! The pieces are falling back together. Yeah. Father Patella's coming over tomorrow, and so is Gloria, and we're gonna fix everything. Yeah. So I need you here tomorrow, around 3:30. Okay? All right, I'm gonna call the boys now.
Viola!
Listen to me, Frank. I don't want you making any of your crazy sounds tomorrow in front of Father Patella. And you're gonna put a nice shirt on over that t-shirt, you understand me? I mean it.
All right, fine.
Let's go. Right. Remember what I told you now, because this is very important to me.
Don't worry, I can act respectable.
And let Maria and I do all the talking. And don't say anything unless we ask you to, okay?
What do you want me to act like I'm in church or something?
And that's another thing. What are you going to say to Father Patella when he asks you why you haven't been to Mass for 3 weeks?
Nothing. You already told him I went to the doctor.
But he's going to want to know what for.
Okay. I don't know. What'd I go for?
Tell him you had the flu, and you took too much cough syrup, and you were too sleepy.
So I was asleep for 3 weeks.
That's not far from the truth. Where you going?
To the John!
Nah, leave the paper. Leave the paper. You can read the obituaries after he's gone. Hello, Father Patella. Thank you so much for coming.
Not at all. Nothing is more important than this.
I know it's short notice and you got 7 baptisms and the first Holy Communion this week, so.
6. One family moved to Maine.
Maine, huh?
Where's Frank?
Oh, he's a little indisposed at the moment.
Is he all right? Should we look in on him?
Look in on him.
Yes. See how he's doing.
No. He'll be right out. I told him not to take a paper with him.
Paper?
He reads the obituaries religiously. Oh, that was a poor choice of words, Father.
No, I agree. I would think something lighter would be better, like the bunnies. The obituaries can be so depressing.
Oh, if anybody's depressed, it's me, Father. And I could care less about Vinnie-Bag-A-Donuts.
Vinnie-Bag-A-Donuts?
Oh, yes, some guy that Frank ate donuts with under the Canarsie subway line. He died late.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, you're sorry. I am sick and tired of hearing about his friends dying. Vinnie-Bag-A-Donuts, Enzo, whoever. This one and that one. He needs to show some consideration and keep that information to himself because I'm with you, Father. That's all very depressing.
Viola, I think you need to take a gentler approach with Frank. I know you're very upset. And while I don't know the details, I'm sure this crisis has to be very hard on him, too. He's probably trying to be strong for you. Plus, men don't usually like to show their true emotions.
He acts like it doesn't even bother him.
That's what I mean. He's probably not showing his true emotions. Now, will anyone else be here with us?
Well, the boys, of course, and my sister Maria, and Gloria. It's his wife.
There now. Viola, I want you to know that whatever the actual circumstances are, God is in control of everything.
Oh, I have to believe that, Father.
Well, it's true. Why don't you fill me in on the details while we're waiting for Frank?
All right. So, it all started yesterday. Well, at least that's when I became aware of it.
Uh-huh.
I got a phone call,
Did?
and it took me completely by surprise. So I asked him about it, and he said it's been going on for 6 months.
He kept this to himself for 6 months?
Oh, yeah. Well, he said he tried to tell me about it.
Well, obviously he didn't want to upset you.
Don't you think I'd have been more upset if I found out about it after it was all over?
And what exactly did he keep to himself?
That he was dying on the inside. I can't see, Father. Have you ever heard of such a thing?
That does sound odd.
Well, anyway, Father, not going to give up. I'm not giving up.
So you think there might be something else that can be done?
Oh, I know there's something else that can be done. And that's why you are here, Father, to help me fix this, because I know if anybody can, you can, Father.
But how can I?
Oh, my dear friend. There he is. What I say, keeping us waiting, no consideration. Hey, look at the shirt. You told me that you were going to look respectable for the bar.
Oh, no, Viola. He doesn't have to do anything different on my
He
account.
most certainly does. And I also told him no inappropriate sounds, too. You should have heard him yesterday in front of my sister Maria. It was very embarrassing.
Frank, how are you doing?
Fine, Father. And yourself?
Very well, thank you. I'm sorry to hear about Vinnie-Bag-A-Donuts.
Oh, yeah. Well, the way I see it, I'll be joining him soon enough.
We all have to go sometime, don't we?
I'm ready.
I'm glad to see you're in such good spirits. And I must say you look very well.
Oh, you mean about the past 3 weeks? I've been sleeping a lot, on account of the medicine. It's too strong. Ain't that right, Viola?
Frank, I'm sure the doctor knows what he's doing. He must be helping you because you're able to be here with us.
What else would I?
So, Frank, what exactly did the doctor say?
What did the doctor say?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly what did the doctor say, Viola? Tell the good father.
What did he say? He said it was the worst case he ever seen. And that's why Frank could not be to mass for the past few weeks. But he's going to be there tomorrow. I'm going to make sure of it, Father.
Well, only if he feels up to it, of course.
Yeah, well, Father, I really want to talk about the family, because that's why I asked you.
Oh? Well, how so?
Well, like I told you, it's breaking.
Of course it is. You're going through a crisis.
Yeah, and all this talk about moving to California.
Who's moving to California?
Gloria, Vincent's wife.
Well, it's not unusual for people to do irrational things at a time of crisis. Sometimes people want to run away.
You've got that right, Father. That is exactly what she is doing, running away from her responsibilities, and she don't even care how it makes us feel. But Maria said that we talked some sense into her yesterday.
About not going to California?
Yeah, well, we don't want her to get an eating disorder.
Does that run in Gloria's family?
I don't know, but I found out that her mother gets 2-minute seizures.
She does. And did Maria say anything else?
Oh, yeah, she talked about a lot of things, like Elvis and decoupage and Frank's hair falling out.
That was a little insensitive, don't you think?
Oh, she didn't say it in front of him.
He was indisposed at that moment, too.
I had no way of knowing that.
But you just said.
And she talked about grave diggers, too.
Well, that was definitely insensitive, don't you think?
Well, she wouldn't have done that if it wasn't for Anthony's fiancée, Angela, hanging out in cemeteries. I asked you, did you ever hear of such a thing?
I must say, that one is unusual.
Actually, Father, it's a pretty funny story.
I asked you to let me do all the talking.
You too, Viola.
But it's so embarrassing, like I said.
Viola, it doesn't matter to me that Frank missed church for 3 weeks, or that his shirt is unbuttoned, or even that he makes inappropriate sounds. And frankly, the things that Gloria and Angela are doing are secondary.
To what?
To Frank's prognosis.
Oh, Father! Oh! Oh! I have a confession to make. We made that up.
You did? Why would you do that?
Well, because I was embarrassed that he hadn't been to Mass for 3 weeks, so I thought if he had the flu, it wouldn't look so bad.
The flu? So Frank, you're not dying?
Dying?
What gave you that idea?
You did. Yesterday on the phone. You said you got bad news yesterday about a family crisis that concerns Frank and that your heart is broken. And you even started to cry.
No. I didn't mean it concerns Frank like it's about
to give last rites. A crucifix. Candles. Holy water. Oil. Wafers. And wine. And when you said he was indisposed, I thought that meant he was giving himself oxygen or something.
I was in the John is all. I'm in the lavatory.
Oh my, this has been quite a misunderstanding, hasn't it? I guess I'm the one who should be embarrassed.
Oh, Father, can you ever forgive me?
Of course.
Father, thanks for going through all the trouble and giving me my last rites and all. It's not exactly what I had in mind for today. I appreciate it.
Well, Frank, I'm certainly relieved to know you're not done. Now, this crisis, you say it has something to do with Vincent?
Vincent and Gloria are getting a marital dissolution.
Oh, you mean divorce?
Father, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but do not use the D word in this house.
Trust me, Father, things will go a lot smoother if you don't use the D word.
And Anthony was just 9 months away from the holy state of betrothment.
You mean marriage?
That word she likes. She likes the M word a lot.
But now his fiancée, Angela, is moving to a corrupt state, and the wedding is off.
I see. And they're all coming over?
Well, yes, but we'll accept Angela. We'll deal with her later. Oh, excuse me, Father.
Viola.
Oh, you're just in time, because we were just about to explain everything to the father.
Hello, Maria. Nice to see you again.
Maria, the good father here thinks you've been very insensitive to me.
No, that was before.
No. I probably am. I mean, he deserves it. I think it's humane. Father, do you know that Frank now sleeps all the way on the other side of the bed from me?
You and Frank sleep in the same bed.
Well, you tell me, isn't it my duty to?
For you and Frank to sleep in the same bed?
No, not this friend. My friend.
My father, you sly dog.
Right.
Oh, that's of course.
Why don't we continue?
All right, so it all happened yesterday.
What happened yesterday?
Gloria's mother called.
She never called.
I knew it was something.
She has a gift.
She talked nonsense.
Like Frank Sexima.
And then she was quiet.
She thought she was dead.
Yeah. And Frank yelled, Stella!
Like Vinnie-Bag-A-Donuts.
And then Maria came over.
She hung up velvet.
I broke the candy dish.
It's a sign.
He bought a Ouija board.
It's in the attic.
He should have burned it.
We have plastic grass.
The munchkin's dead.
Hanging from a tree.
Temperamental qualities.
Characteristics.
Gloria wants attention.
Like the girl with the kidney.
She bought face pictures.
And waved in a car.
And changed her name.
We're talking to a lawyer.
I want an annulment.
But it's been 3 years.
And Angela wants flowers.
And she could have been
By
killed.
that crazy woman.
In the cemetery.
And that's why I called.
And that's why she called.
Now I'm completely confused.
You want we should say it all again, only slower?
Oh, no. That's okay. I have an idea. Maria, could you explain to me what's going on?
Oh, that's a good idea, because she's good with the words.
Well, you see, it was like this. I was at home hanging my Elvis picture, which I got at a flea market, and which I hope upsets Frank because he is molting like a duck. Anyway, more importantly, that's when Viola called, and she sounded so upset on the phone that I hurried right over, and when I got here, her head was about to explode.
Hey, that expression, Father, courtesy of me.
And Frank was yelling some woman's name very loud.
Hey, Father, did you ever see Street Cop? No?
So Viola told me that she had just used her gift on the phone with Mrs. Angeli, Gloria's mother, who incidentally may have been having a seizure at that very same moment. which would explain why she used that nonsensical expression, temperamental qualities. Anyway, then Vincent and Anthony came over. Was garlic not sent, Vincent meant. And Anthony knows how important toes are. Very anxious.
Hey, Father, if you ever give me a call, you let us know, okay?
My Joseph, not so much. He just tinkers. Maybe you could talk to him. So, anyway, getting to the crux of the matter. Vincent tells us that he is getting...
Don't use the D word, Maria.
Then there's Angela. Oh my God, what a nut job she is.
Maria.
Oh, just my opinion, but she is obsessed with flowers and cemeteries. And I mean, she could get herself into some legal difficulties. But now Anthony doesn't care anymore because she just wore him out. So she might be hopping on a plane any day now for some corrupt state and get a parasite. Then Gloria shows up. She has no respect for the sanctity of marriage and is looking, you should tell me the expression, a little bit trampish. Again, just my opinion, but I'm telling you, a few more years of that thing, and she's getting ready to hop on a plane to California, where she could get an eating disorder under a fake name, which will get her into some legal difficulties. But Vincent doesn't care anymore because she wore 10 out with face pictures and chandeliers, one of which I will be receiving any day now. Oh, Frank, maybe you can help me hang it.
Oh, sure. When you decoupage me a bag of donuts.
Then we tried to talk some sense into Gloria that her corrupt show businesses. I mean, just look at Angelina Jolie and Milton Berle and Dustin Hoffman and
Charlie Chaplin, too. Hey, Father, did you know that Charlie Chaplin wore dresses? No? Come on.
anyway. But Gloria, who has been treated like a queen for the last 3 years, was feeling uncomfortable. And I think it's because the truth hurts. I mean, you should have heard her yesterday. She made absolutely no sense at all.
None.
But she did come over when she thought Frank was sick. I'll have to give her that much.
Father Patella thought I was dying.
Dying? Anyway, fantasy about becoming some big time movie star. Can you imagine? I mean, I'm sure you have to agree that show business is corrupt. You probably have heard that in confession, am I right? I think that's I think I'd be very clear from now.
Oh, excuse me, Father. Boys. And Angela. Oh. Where's Gloria?
You asked her to come over too?
Yes, I did.
Again? Why?
Because we are going to have another little chat.
She told you she was uncomfortable yesterday.
Well, that's not my fault. That's because she was talking nonsense, right, Maria?
And why would she want to come back for more?
Because she thought long and hard about what we had to say, right, Maria?
Ma, I told you it's over. Anyway, she had to audition to me, remember?
It got canceled. I'm sorry, excuse my manners. But Patella, you know my Vincent
Hi, Father.
and my Anthony.
Yes, of course. Nice to see you both again.
And this is Anthony's fiance, Angela.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, so, Angela, what a surprise. Is everything all right?
Nah, you don't have to pretend.
Oh,
She knows I told you.
oh.
But, look.
Oh!
Yes, after hearing you say you was talking with me yesterday, I gave Angela a call and we made a deal. I quit school and work full time so that I can help her open up a flower shop here. So, none of this money for her, okay?
See, Maria? The pieces!
I see.
Oh, Father Patella, half your job's already done for you. The wedding's back on.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, and that reminds me, are you available next January?
I'll take a look. But if not, I'm sure I could get one of the other priests to officiate.
So, now we're just waiting for Gloria.
Oh, so Vincent, I hear you and Gloria are getting a marital dissolution?
Ma,
Yeah, Father, you know, Gloria
was yesterday?
Yes, but that's because she does not respect us. But you, she has to respect because you are a man of the cloth. So all you have to do is to tell her how corrupt show business is and that she has a choice to make. She could either be happy with us or she could be treated like a second-class citizen by men pretending to be women. You understand that?
Why don't we see what she has to say when she gets here?
Hey, Father, do you think a college education is a good thing to have?
Yes, I do.
Then tell that to my Joseph and hold as a secret. Let me ask you something, Father. Do you think it's healthy for a young man, 32 years old, to sit in his room for hours tinkering?
Doing what?
Tinkering, you know. There's a word for it. I just can't think of it. It'll come to me.
You see, Anthony, the good father here thinks you should stay in college, get your degree in hypothermia, and make your grandfather proud.
In what?
College makes you read too much. You know I'm not a reader, I'm a doer. Gotta watch that documentary some more, see if I can pick it up enough to do it on my own. Without college.
Do what, Anthony?
Put people's clothes on.
Put people's what? I don't follow.
From hypothermia. My grandpa died from it.
Hey, Pop, didn't they tell him yesterday he should just quit school and keep watching TV? Ma, he's gonna have to borrow your sewing kit.
Funny.
Your father, we were just telling Anthony yesterday, how much women like to be given flowers, even if they have allergies.
I guess that's true, isn't it? Yes.
So, Angela, I guess this means no more,
No more what?
I told him he liked to go to cemeteries.
Yes. Mrs. Mangione was telling me about that. Why do you like to go to cemeteries, Angela?
I can't believe you told them that, Anthony. It was only 3 times, and the priest knows too.
Angela, show some respect. His name is Father Patella, and, please, why are you standing? Sit down.
I know it was. Once before the woman tried to kill you, and once after.
A woman tried to kill you in a cemetery?
No, she just got in my face and called me a hussy.
Why did she do that?
It's a long story.
Actually, it's not that long a story. I could tell it for you if you want. It's probably the best story I ever heard.
You could have honked the horn to let me know she was there.
No, he couldn't have. The dead is supposed to be able to rest in peace. Am I right, Father?
Anthony, Angela, please, you're embarrassing me. Please sit down.
What else did you say about me, Anthony?
Nothing.
He said you're a maniac.
That's it. Here's your ring back.
Damn it, Anthony, stop her. Stop her.
Why did you say that?
It was a joke. And besides, I'm not the one who said it. Aunt Maria said it.
No, that's not entirely correct. What I said was that that's what they call people from Maine.
But I'm not from Maine.
Well, you were going to. And you got in bed watering flowers on somebody else's grave is,
No, I don't know. Is what?
He's trespassing on their really small apartment, right, Papa? Is that what you said to tell him?
Boy!
Please, make her sit
Hey,
down.
Joe, come on, sit down. Let's not get this in front of my parents and father, Capella.
No, you care more about how you're looking at all of that than you do about hurting my feelings.
Anthony, apologize and tell her that you'll buy her some flowers later.
Angela, I'm sorry. And I'll buy you some flowers later.
You're just saying that because your mother told you to.
I did not.
Okay then, what kind are you going to buy me?
Well, what kind do you want?
What kind do I like?
Don't you like your wall?
Yes. Well, what kind do I really like?
God, I don't know. Does it look like a crepe paper? Starts with a P? What the hell is it?
Yes, kitties. And all the other ones that start with a P too.
Pansies, and I'll buy you pansies too.
Oh, you will? Oh, Anthony, you do know what I like.
Father Patella, I apologize. We are a very civilized family and nothing like this has ever happened here before. Listen up, everyone. This is not the reason that the father came over here today.
Oh, that's right. Father Patella came over here today to give me my last rites.
Your last rites?
No, your mother just... he thought I was dying because your mother lied to him about me missing mass for the past 3 weeks.
I asked for forgiveness for that, and the father knows that I feel terrible. So, Father, should I schedule a confession for tomorrow?
That's fine, Viola. I absolve.
Thank you, Father. we'll make a novena later on today. So now that that's taken care of, perhaps we can move on. You know, Angela, it might interest you to know that the father here has a whole new floral design in his church.
Can I come over and take care of your flowers?
Sure.
And I was thinking that we could match, you know, your bridesmaids' headdresses and your bouquet and Annie's boutonniere and my corsage to the father's flowers.
Oh, then I better start growing those flowers now then.
Good. Now that's settled. Your father, would you have any premarital advice for Anthony and Angela?
Well, I think the most important things to remember are always try to listen to the other person. Always be honest with each other. Never go to bed angry. And show an interest in the things that are important to each other.
That's good advice, isn't it, kids?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So what else is important to you, Angela, besides flowers?
Probably your parents, right, honey?
Well, we get along okay. But after flowers, I have to say Mitzi is my most important.
Oh, who's that? Your grandmother?
No, my one grandmother died in a fire. And the other got ran over by a tractor in Montana.
Oh, they got Italians in Montana?
Yeah, that's where your friend is from. The one that came from one of the ends. Work on for your rolling out pizza.
One of the N's, the D word, the N word. Flowers that both start with the letter P. You all like initials, don't you?
But who is Mitzi? Mitzi's my dog.
Your dog is more important to you than your parents?
Uh-huh. And she's a Pomeranian. But not just any Pomeranian. She's the direct descendant of the one owned by Mrs. Napoleon from way, way back.
Who's Mrs. Napoleon?
She means Mrs. Bonaparte. Napoleon Bonaparte's wife had a Pomeranian.
Right. I always get those two confused. And she knows how to yawn and gargle on command. She's so cute.
Does what?
Do you like Mitzi Anthony?
She's alright.
See? Anthony's interested in your flowers and your dog, Angela.
You're like spoiled giant rats.
Like that again.
Yeah, Angela, you gotta stop doing this.
Anthony, is this how she ran away from the lady at the cemetery?
Angela, come on.
No. You don't appreciate my flowers or my dog, then you don't appreciate me.
That's not true. I do like you.
Well, you have a funny way of showing it.
Anthony, tell him Mitzi can be in the wedding.
Why would you have Mitzi be in the way?
Maybe she doesn't want to.
What is she entering into a gargling contest?
Yeah. Alright, I'll tell you what. Why don't we get Mitzi wear flowers on her head? She'll come down the aisle with a flower girl while Mitzi's dropping rose petals.
Anthony, that's brilliant.
Can we really do that?
Sure.
Oh, you do appreciate my flowers and my dog.
Angela, please tell me you're not gonna do this anymore.
I'm sorry. I guess I'm just a little nervous. I promise.
I hope so.
ask you later. Remind me to ask your father later.
Your father, where's my manners? You know, I forgot to ask you.
Ask me what?
If you wanted anything, can I get you something?
A glass of water, perhaps?
I can get it for him.
No.
Oh, no?
No, to Maria. Frank, you go.
Miss anything?
Oh, no, he doesn't.
He does. Sit down. Not your father. Angela. Vincent, go call Gloria. Anthony, make her sit down. Frank, go get the water.
I'm trying.
She isn't coming.
She is too. Your father, you want ice in it?
Excuse me?
Your water. Do you want ice in your water?
No, that's all right.
Frank, hurry up with the water and put ice in it.
Get out of my way! I want to go home!
How are you gonna get home? You came with us.
I'll take a taxi.
Father, Frank, where's the water?
Did I miss anything?
Thank you.
Sit down. Not your father.
Look, she forgot the ice.
Can't you do anything right?
No, this is fine, really.
I'll get
No, really, it's fine.
Oh!
You happy now, Angela? You see what you
Wait,
did?
I'll get a towel. Hold on. You know, Father, I have always wondered, the robes you wear, the mask, are they water resistant? I know that they're wrinkle resistant, but are they water resistant?
No.
That's too bad. Did that have any influence on your decision to enter the priesthood?
Why aren't you calling Gloria?
Ma, you're not listening.
No, nobody is listening to me. And none of this would have happened if you hadn't said, go ahead.
Are you kidding me? I can't take any more of this. Come on, Anthony, let's go.
Nobody's going anywhere. Now you all listen to me. Father Patella was nice enough to come over here today, and I am shocked at how all of you have been behaving. And now on top of everything, he's all wet.
Oh, I'm so sorry I got you wet.
That's all right.
And Frank, ever since 11 a.m. yesterday, you have been doing nothing but ignoring me and yelling your sounds and reading your obituaries, which even the father says are very depressing.
I only said that because I thought he was dying.
And Andrew, when Anthony told me that you were moving to Maine and running around in cemeteries, I stood up for you. But I gotta tell you, I have never had anyone come into my house and run around like a maniac.
I'm not a maniac!
You boys, my Vincent, did you know how much you have broken my heart?
Got your way again. Yeah, maybe you should get a cab driver to stop at a few cemeteries along the way. That'll make him feel better.
Well, now you don't have to ask for 200 servings on the restaurant's website.
Now you can study in college and get your degree in hypothermia.
I tried to raise my boys to know right from wrong and to have respect for the church.
I know you have.
I even gave them 2 confirmation names instead of just 1.
Oh, I remember.
And all my friends were so upset with me when I said that Julie Andrews was a blasphemy when she left the convent for a man in The Sound of Music. But, you know, I just cannot condone blasphemy, and that's the price you gotta pay. Am I right, Father?
Viola, I know you always did what you thought was right. And I applaud you for your commitment to the church and to the institution of marriage. But sometimes we have to learn our lessons the hard way. I did.
What? What do you mean?
Well, you see, there was a time I thought that the only thing that mattered was for people to follow all the rules of the church. And then I started losing. And I realized what I was preaching wasn't love, it was legalism. Rules are important, but people are more important.
See, Viola, the good father understands stands with the Miss Mass every once in a while.
Viola, I know these last 2 days have been very hard for you, but it's not as bad as you think. I mean, it's true. Okay? As far as we know, no one in our family has ever been divorced. No, it's okay to say the D word. You have to let Vincent go out and live his own life. The right girl is out there for him, you'll see. And she will appreciate him for his garlic nuts. Am I right, Vincent?
Oh, yeah, and who knows? Maybe I'll open up my own pizza place. Vinny's world-renowned garlic nuts.
I like the sound of that. And Anthony will find somebody else too.
Yeah, Mom, like I said, I got my eye on another girl.
And well, look at it this way. At least they don't stay in their room all day tinkering.
Oh, well, speaking of which, Maria, Marrus talked to Joe about that.
Oh, would you please, Anthony? I mean, maybe you can get him to go back to school with you. He can learn how to be something with. He can learn how to put hair back on his father's head.
I think Vincent and Anthony are fine young men. And do you know what that tells me?
What?
It tells me that you've done your best as a mother and it's paid off. So what more could you ask for?
Father, may I say something too?
Of course, Frank.
Viola, you're talking like it's the end of the world, but it's not. And who's to say what's right and what's wrong? Do we really want Anthony here to have to hunt down Angela in cemeteries? And who is it for us to make Vincent love Gloria or Gloria love Vincent? Or Vincent make Gloria love him or Gloria make Vincent love...
Get to the point.
Well, the point is that what our family stands for isn't being desperate. Because what our family stands for is love.
But I'm scared, Frank.
I know, Viola. You know, you gotta realize that not everything's perfect. And you can't make everything be perfect. I mean, have you ever heard of, if you love something, set it free? Well, set the boys free. Set your idea of what a family should look like free. And set yourself free. And then whatever you get, it's gonna be okay.
You asked me to come over today for help, but I could never have said anything better than Frank just did. He's a very wise man.
Gee, thanks, Father. Oh, and thanks for not giving me my last rites today.
I'm sorry, Frank, that I didn't listen to you. And I'm sorry, boys, that I said that you're desperate. I know that you're not.
Hey, come on. At least we learned a new word today.
Yeah, maybe we can do the crossword puzzle now like Bob.
Oh, and I almost forgot. Wow. The heart-shaped candy dish. You know, I thought I was going to have to bring it to some professional to have the pieces put back together. And then I thought, let me try this myself. And,
Oh, I would have never known the difference.
just like Mama said.
Just like Mom said.
So, what does that tell you?
We'll be okay.
Yes. And we're all right here with you.
Well, I better go or I'll be late for Mass. But I do want to say one last thing.
What's that?
Over the years, I've found my line of work to be very unpredictable. Sometimes I just don't know what I'm going to find when I make a house call. But cemeteries, garlic nuts, heroines, face pictures, hypothermia, Vinnie-Bag-A-Donuts. I mean, I have to tell you, this has definitely been the most unpredictable house call I've ever made.
Will it be?